Hey, how's it going, fight fans? Welcome to mindforcombat. If you're new to the channel, my name's Rohan and I need your help to grow my fight platform. If you're a boxing or MMA fan and you're interested in seeing breakdowns, gossip videos, talks, discussions, anything, I need your help. And all you got to do is hit the subscribe button, get involved in the conversation in the comment section below, and maybe sharing out the video to your friends and families, anyone who's interested in boxing or MMA, fight fans in general, and just help me to grow my platform. Help me hit 700 subscribers as we roll closer and closer there. I'm getting there, clawing there slowly, and I need your help to be able to finally hit that mark. So guys, this is a video that I'm very excited to break down, or a fight that I'm very excited to break down on this video. And it's a fight that's very important in the heavyweight division, particularly with the shake-up with Anthony Joshua recently losing. I just cannot wait for this fight, and it's a very important one. It's between Dillian Whyte and Oscar Rivas. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, there may be this misconception that Oscar Rivas is a bit of a bum. Well, that's not true. Oscar Rivas medaled in the Pan American Games in the amateur scene, and he had a very lengthy and respected amateur career as a boxer. And I believe he got like bronze or silver medal in the Pan American Games, and he's 26-0 as a professional. He's a dynamic, explosive fighter with knockout power in his hands and a good chin. He's also shown that he can fight all the way through until the end of the fight, and we're going to talk a bit more about some of those highlights in his career. But this is a very good fight for Dillian Whyte, who's won 9 fights in a row, and really, if boxing was a fair world, he would be fighting for a heavyweight title next. But because of the politics and the landscape of boxing, he isn't getting his title shot. Okay, whatever. Let's not get into the controversy of it all. And yeah, so this is a great fight. It's got my attention, and it definitely should have your attention as well. So guys, let's go through the tailor tape and have a look at this this fight and how I see these figures play into it. Dillian Whyte is 31 years old, and he fights Oscar Rivas, who's 32 years old. They're fighting basically at the same age. There's no difference there, and they're both on the come up in their career. Dillian Whyte's obviously never had a lengthy amateur career, so he's done a lot of his growth in the professional ranks, and the growth between his first Anthony Joshua fight to where he stands in this day and age is absolutely exceptional. He's just grown so much as a professional fighter. He's won 9 fights in a row since losing to Anthony Joshua, and he's just so completely different. And I believe, even though he is 31 years old, he's going to continue to grow at an exponential rate just because he's gaining the experience and the chops. As with Oscar Rivas, you know what I mean? He's continued to develop and improve, and he hasn't taken no harsh beatings and losses or nothing like that. So he's still very fresh, hungry, and coming up in the game. Dillian Whyte has a 25-1 record, and he fights Oscar Rivas, who's 26-0. I would say Dillian Whyte's much more experienced against higher caliber of opponents, but they've had a similar amount of fights, or this exact same amount of fights, and I think that's very important to note. And we'll talk about their opponents a bit more in a second. But the next statistics I think is a bit key. Dillian Whyte stands at 6'4". Now, depending on where you go for your source, Oscar Rivas is either 5'10" or 6 foot tall. If he's 5'10", then Dillian Whyte will have a 6-inch height advantage over him. If he's 6 foot, he'll have a 4-inch height advantage over him. Either way, that's significant, particularly in a boxing match, in a fight like this one's going to be. Dillian Whyte has a 78-inch reach, which is 2 inches longer than Oscar Rivas' reach at 76-inch reach. So that's another key factor to remember in this fight. They're both orthodox fighters. They don't have a similar style, but they're both orthodox fighters, so that's something to note. And so some of their key wins. So Oscar Rivas gave Fabio Maldonado the first loss of his boxing career. Now, for those of you that are just boxing fans and don't know, Fabio Maldonado is actually a very long-time respected veteran in the world of mixed martial arts. He's had like 36 fights. He's fought a lot of big names, and he's been around at the top of mixed martial arts for a long, well, not the top, but mid-tier of mixed martial arts for a long time, and he's fought some very good and well-respected mixed martial artists along the way. He was a very prolific can crusher in the world of boxing. And when he fought Oscar Rivas, actually, funny enough, little story, Oscar Rivas versus Fabio Maldonado was the first video I ever done on this channel. It was my first ever breakdown. I got that one right, but that was the first ever breakdown I done. So you can see this kind of near and dear to me, this Oscar Rivas situation. So yeah, he's beaten Fabio Maldonado, and his most impressive win was for the North American Boxing Federation heavyweight title when he took out Bryant Jennings in a fight where he was definitely behind on the scorecards by a big margin, in my opinion. And he finished Bryant Jennings, which just goes to show that he is dangerous all the way up into the end of the fight. So Dillian Whyte cannot take his eyes off the ball, and Dillian Whyte has been rocked towards the end of the fight. So correlation, I don't know, like, it's something to consider. Dillian Whyte's key wins are a lot more prolific. He's got a long list of important fights. Like that loss to Anthony Joshua was obviously an incredibly big learning experience from him. Since then, he's beaten the likes of Dave Allen, who's a very respected commodity here on the UK shore and is doing good things at heavyweight right now. He's beaten Derek Chisora not once but twice, who's ranked on the world scene, and he's a very, very good, talented boxer. He's beaten Robert Helenius, who's a great European talent. He's 28-2, won 3 fights in a row, and was once considered a future heavyweight champion. He's beaten Lucas Brown, who was 25-0 at the time, had beaten Russell Anchagev for the WBA regular heavyweight title, served the steroid suspension, come back, and then his first loss was to Dillian Whyte. I think he did pick up a tune-up win as well, but that was the chronology of things. So he was coming in there after a world title win, and then he got knocked out by Dillian Whyte in a brutal knockout. And Dillian Whyte's most impressive win is most definitely the Joseph Parker fight. Some of the issues in their fight. Early in Dillian Whyte's career, I noted that he was very eager and willing to brawl. He was willing to get into them exchanges, them rough, horrible exchanges, and he's definitely grown out of that to a big degree. He's not so willing to get into them brawls no more. But is that a mentality thing? Does that mentality stick around? Does he still fight like that? I don't know. But it's worth noting, for Oscar Rivas, it will be his technical deficiencies and the size disadvantage he's going to be at when he's fighting Dillian Whyte. The X factor for Dillian Whyte is going to be his exponential growth and experience on the world stage, having fought the best in the world. And another issue for Dillian Whyte that I should point out actually is the fact that he's carrying the weight of the UK on his shoulders. With everything that's happened with Anthony Joshua, there's a lot of eyes on this fight now. And Dillian Whyte's a guy who's built up a massive public profile here in the UK, particularly among us British boxing enthusiasts. And coming into this fight, there's going to be a lot of pressure on him. I know for a fact I'm rooting for him. I'm still saying objective in my breakdown, but I will be rooting for him to get the win. And there's going to be a lot of attention on Dillian Whyte to get the win. And I wonder, is that pressure going to start to amount for him? It shouldn't. I believe he'll see it through, but that is something to consider. The X factor for Dillian Whyte coming into this fight is going to be his size and his ever-improving game. And for Oscar Rivas, his X factor is going to be his power, which lasts all the way through to the end of 36 minutes. Now, coming into this fight, when I'm making my predictions, there's a couple of things that I want to point out. Dillian Whyte has shown us that he can be the technically deficient fighter, or be in a fight where he's fighting someone who's technically superior and still win. When he fought Joseph Parker for the first round, Joseph Parker came out and he was faster than him, sharper than him, had better boxing, moved well. He won that first round. But Dillian Whyte's the kind of guy, he may lose a round. He'll pace himself together, think it through. He's a guy who has very high fight IQ, and he will walk on that line between legality, and he will rough you up. He'll grab you, clinch you, he'll fuck you up. He will make you know that you're in a fight, clinch you, rough you up, shots inside, maybe rough you up with his head. He will do that. He will do what he needs to get the win, because he's a straight G. He's not worried about getting into a fight. He's not worried about roughing you up. He's going to do it. If he has to, he will fuck you up to get the win. He has an ever-improving boxing game. Now, Oscar Rivas has shown a lot of stuff to me as well. Now, Oscar Rivas has shown me that he's got a good chin, and he's shown me that he's got a lot of dynamic power. When he fought Bryant Jennings, who's a very well-respected fighter on the world scene, about to fight Joe Joyce, had won 5 fights in a row since losing to Luis Ortiz. He gave Klitschko a hell of a time. Was the North American Boxing Federation heavyweight champion, and was coming into that fight really touted as being on another title run. And you know, as a heavyweight at 33 years old, Bryant Jennings was still relatively young, and Bryant Jennings was winning that fight. And Oscar Rivas didn't quit. He showed me he's got that fighter's mentality. He's not a quitter, and he can still finish fights all the way up into the last minute of the last round, and that's very important to note. However, I believe that the size difference that Dillian Whyte is going to enjoy in this fight, and his technical superiority over Oscar Rivas, is going to be able to provide him with the platform he needs to get a nice gap in the rounds. And I also believe Dillian Whyte, A, he's durable enough, and B, he's tough enough if he does get rocked to hold on, clinch on, and survive. I believe that Dillian Whyte should be able to do that. Now, rounds 1 through 4 will be the most dangerous, because Oscar Rivas' power, although he remains explosive to the end, it will be at its peak in rounds 1 through 4. Oscar Rivas is probably going to come out here, going to try to play spoiler, and he's going to hit hard. He'll probably be throwing a lot of overhand rights, and you know, he's going to be a very aggressive fighter in this. However, I don't feel like it's going to be enough to take out the ever-improving Dillian Whyte, who's an incredible boxer, and just fundamentally all round he's rounding out his game. Dillian Whyte should be able to get the win here, so I'm going to pick Dillian Whyte. So for my official prediction, I'm picking Dillian Whyte to be able to get the unanimous decision after maybe a rough, sketchy rounds 1 through 4. I believe the gap's going to grow and grow and grow and grow, and towards the end of the fight, I believe Dillian Whyte's just going to put a beating on him and make a statement, and it's going to be a good win for Dillian Whyte. And make no mistake about it, this is a very good win for Dillian Whyte if he is to get the win. So fight fans, let me know what you guys think. Comment below. If this is the first time you checked out my channel, let me know what you thought of the video, and if you've got any feedback to give me, let me know. I'm open to any criticism or anything that's going to help me. So thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like, subscribe, share out the video, all that jazz. Thanks for watching.